Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, and here we are for the second race of the Group 3 Championship hosted by the Mature Racing Club, all set up by the MRC's very own dog skinner, Bob Bristow, and he did a really good job of setting up a championship really quite quickly. A lot of people entered straight away, and here we are. It didn't take long, and we've all picked a Group 3 car and we're away. So this is race 2. You might have tuned into my race 1 replay. If you haven't, then why not? I mean, go back and watch it. What are you doing? If you did, then thank you very much. So without much further ado, we're starting this race on half a tank of fuel. Tyres are determined by whatever you pick, so there's no tyre that you have to start on, and this is a reverse grid race from the finishing results from race 1, which was a 20-minute race around Bathurst at night. So this is Spa-Francorchamps, 40-minute race, and Moley is in first place with the reverse grid order. Oh, messing it up already. There we go. So Moley, 1983, we can all guess his age from that, in first place. AG123 in second. Third is Ginger Crackhead. Mr. Ginge, UK is in fourth. Slow Seamus is in fifth. Sixth is Sixpenny Guitar. Seventh is Mr. Dre 70. Eighth is MRC Lega 272. Ninth is B Rated. S2 Law 81 is in 10th, Magino is in 11th, 12th is GT Deli B, and in 13th we have Diablo, the winner from race 1 around Bathurst, being Australian, that's no surprise. So we're actually going to have a bit of a different start here. I'm going to pick one person out in particular, and we're going to stick with their start. So GT Deli B having a particularly good start this race, so we will just stick with him basically. So away we go, off into the race as we wait for the lights and we wait for the start from everyone, as you hear the revs rising from a few cars around GT Deli B. I'll actually skip to the outside camera, so see everyone getting away quite nicely, but Ginger Crackhead just doesn't leave the line for some reason. I don't know what happened, but did not get away off the line, did Ginger Crackhead. So GT Deli B didn't quite see that coming with all the cars in front of him and ended up going into the back of him on the start finish straight. So that's about GT Deli's biggest issue in this race. Away he goes now, so we'll keep an eye on the guys up front as well as obviously watching what Deli's doing. But I just thought I ought to give credit to Deli for this start. So there we go, he's past Mr. Dre up into 9th position as he heads through the top of Eau Rouge and Radion, and then just looking for the braking. So he goes down the outside of 2 people into there, gets the braking done nicely though, keeps the inside line for the next one, and just manages to get the acceleration out. So he's already up 3 places as Deli, looking for 6th place as he gets on the brakes into the tight right-hander, gets side by side with B Rated, so really good move there, and cleanly done as well. So up into 6th straight away, looking to get past Slow Seamus as we've got Mugino and Mr. Ginger UK going a little bit slow in front. So dives to the inside of Slow Seamus to get past him up into 5th. I wouldn't normally do this, by the way, just pick out one person to highlight the start off, but I think it's warranted in this case. So 4th now as he just dives to the inside of Mr. Ginge as he gets to run on Mr. Ginge into that corner, and he's straight up into 4th position on the first lap. And don't forget, we've already watched GT Deli have a little bit of contact on the non-starting Ginger Crackhead, and then we've also watched him come through the field after that, doing a really good job. See me now, I've got past Moley 1983, which started in pole position. I'm up into 1st in with a bit of a lead, and then we've got Mugino now challenging for the outside line around Moley. Moley looking like he knows what's going on, so he's dipped out of that one without enough pace to challenge into the corner. So Mugino now up in 2nd place, Moley trying his best to lose his penalty and keep it clean through the last corners in 3rd, and we've got Deli into 4th now, looking for the inside line into the La Source hairpin. T1 and he just manages to get it done nice and cleanly on the brakes. Does Delhi, so up into third after basically after just over a lap. So really good start from Delhi there. We'll start jumping up and watching other people, but you can see what I mean about Delhi there. It just gives you an example of what you're trying to achieve on that first lap, and that's a perfect example of it from Delhi. Anyway, we will jump up and see what everyone else is up to. So Morley dropped into fourth now from starting in pole position, but still doing a good job in the slightly difficult car to drive, and I think everyone will agree, the McLaren F1. B-Raid's right on the back of Morley now, as understandably, as Morley gets it all sorts of wrong through there and loses quite a bit of time as he has to battle the oversteer of the McLaren. McLaren versus McLaren, modern versus old, side by side into that corner, and the new one comes out in front, surprise surprise. So B-Rated doing a really good job. I've never really rated the McLaren personally as a decent car. I've always thought it gets ridiculous amounts of understeer and it's so hard to drive because of that. So B-Rated proving me wrong, doing a good job, and up into fourth as he started in sixth, I think. So gain of 2 positions already at the halfway point of lap 2. So slow Seamus in 5th now. Morley dropped into 6th, so Seamus has got past Morley now as well, and Morley couldn't have had a worse couple of opening laps. He just seems to have dropped back, but we'll see what he can do throughout the remainder of the race. Again, I will remind you, this is a 40-minute race, so it goes on for quite a long time, and any mistakes that you make, you can try and make back up in the long race that you've got. So Mr. Diablo has got Diablo behind him now. Diablo, the winner from race 1 around Bathurst, or Mount Panorama as you might know it. Tricky race. Oh, we see him dive up the inside in 7th position on the brakes, quite late there, Diablo, but getting it stopped nicely. So just jumps past Mr. Dre up into 7th, does Diablo there. Good move. Ginger Crackhead dropped off a little bit in 9th now. He got away eventually off the line. S2 Law in 11th place, probably kicking himself a little bit for a bad start by the look of it. MRC Lega finding himself in 12th now. I'm not sure what's gone on towards the back, but a few little issues for a few different people. I think Sixpenny Guitar, if I remember rightly, started in 8th position, so he's dropped back a few places as well, so a bit of an issue somewhere there for Sixpenny. But just to explain myself, I like to try and catch the action in these races and not particularly pick up on people's bad mistakes. So we might not know the reason why you've dropped back, but at least we've saved you the embarrassment of watching it, everyone watching it. So S2 Law finding himself going a little bit deep into the second corner there, heading into the third corner and looking into the fourth corner to get the line right. Sorry, I've got those corner names, corner numbers completely wrong, but you know what I mean. +1. So S2 Law down the inside of Mr. Ginge. Bit of a battle going on, nice and respectful from both of the guys there. Bit of room given from both parties, and S2 Law finds himself getting passed into 10th place there, past Mr. Ginge. Good move. So we'll see what else is going on, try and catch the action. We've got Morley down in 7th place now, battling away to try and get back up the order into 6th position in front, past Slow Seamus. Taking a bit of a wide line there, missing the apex into this crucial flat out section towards the end of the lap. Slow Seamus doing his best to catch up with Diablo. I probably missed a good lap there from Diablo because it was in 8th position a minute ago, or it seemed like something like that anyway, if I remember rightly, and now he's up into 5th as we see a few pit stops going on up front. So you see me jumping into the pits from 1st place, getting some new tyres on, and do I get some fuel? Get some fuel as well. So starting with half a tank does make it tricky. We see GT Delhi taking on fuel as well there. So we all start leaving the pits shortly and see where the order ends up after that. Look, pretty much everyone is in the pits on this lap. It's the fuel that determines this first pit stop really. Only having half a tank means that you have to stop pretty much before the tyres are even ready to be changed. But that's the way it goes, that's the rules, and that's what we've all got to deal with, so it's no big deal. So Maguinho now in first place. Whilst he goes that extra lap, as we can see, he's not coming to the pits yet. He's still got the tyre wear and the fuel to replenish in a minute. So we've got ADG 123, which is me, out in second now after the pit stop, with Slow Seamus right behind me. Slow Seamus still needing to pit. And then we've got Mr. Dre in fourth. Again, last of the pitters, Mr. Dre, still got enough fuel to go for the remainder of this lap, and the times aren't too bad either. GT Delhi, one of the pitters as well, so me, GT Delhi and B Rated, I think, are the guys up front that have all pitted, in amongst Maguinho, Slow Seamus and Mr. Dre that haven't. So we'll keep an eye on GT Delhi again for another lap. Pretty entertaining race, and good result from GT Delhi is this one. Pushing to get higher and higher up as well. As the pit stops happen, you're never quite sure where you are on track, so you've always got to keep pushing. You never quite know what the guy in front of you is going to do with the pit stops and the tyres. Could end up coming your way towards the end of the race, so you've always got to think like that and keep pushing throughout the race. Diablo doing a good job after the pit stop, coming out in 7th place behind B Rated at the moment. So we see Maguinho now jumped into the pits. It gives me a chance to come round the last couple of corners and retake first place. On to lap 4 now as we're heading to the La Source hairpin. I find it hard talking about myself because it sounds like you're bragging at times, but I've built a nice gap to the guys behind there. So GT Delhi in 2nd place, as we see Maguinho actually coming out of the pits into 2nd, just in front of him. So Delhi down into 3rd. B Rated in 4th, and the guys who didn't pit last lap basically are all coming into the pits this lap. So we've got Mr. Jinju UK coming in. Slow Seamus just on his way out. Mr. Dre in 11th, just coming into, oh no, doesn't look like he is pitting actually. So Mr. Dre going for, oh no, what am I on about? Mr. Dre's just come out of the pits in 6th position. Just beaten Slow Seamus out of the pits by the look of it, so they're incredibly close as they run through Eau Rouge on the beginning of lap 5. Anyway, we'll switch up the camera angles, see what the gaps are like, and stick with a bit of action, because I feel like I'm just jumping through everyone and not really showing much of the action that's going on. So B Rated's probably one of the closer guys at the moment to the guy in front, GT Delhi in 3rd. So Maguinho now potentially has the advantage over GT Delhi, as the pit stops happened 1 lap later for Maguinho than Delhi, so you could obviously think that Delhi's tyres are slightly more worn, basically. So the slight advantage goes to Maguinho at this point in the race. We are just over 10 minutes in. Just a quick reminder, this is a 40-minute race, so it's pretty much an endurance race of some sort, or a full length race if you like, of GT style. So this lap we've watched B Rated drop off a little bit from the back of Delhi there. Delhi doing a good job this lap, and just making the lap time count for him. So we've got Diablo battling away behind these guys to catch them up. In 5th place at the moment. It gets rather close towards the end of this race between Diablo and Delhi, so that'll be interesting to watch. So we see Mr. Dre quite a way behind Delhi now, Diablo, sorry. in 6th position, just going through the La Source hairpin as Diablo's heading down from through Eau Rouge. Again, we'll just try and stick with the action, just flicking through to see what the gaps are like. So it looks like this is going to be the bulk of the action towards the front, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. So Diablo chasing away B-rated, and B-rated trying to keep to the back of Deli, as Deli seems to have the slight advantage at the moment in the AMG. Whether that guy in first place is an absolute legend to pull this kind of a gap. Oh shit, yeah, it's me. Hehe. Only joking. I like to be as modest as possible. At the same time, I like to have quite a bit of confidence in myself, but just not rub it in. So I've pulled quite a nice gap now. We're past this lap of 2:17.573 in first place. Maguinho in second, and GT Dele and B-rated in 4th. I'm going to stick you with Diablo for a lap, keep quiet, and watch Diablo try and catch up B-rated over this next lap, lap 7. So half a second up on the delta time there from Diablo. Catching B-rated nicely. Got right onto the back of him through that section of Rouge and the long straight. Nowhere really to go through this corner unless someone opens up the inside line for you. So Diablo just having to keep patient at the moment. To keep it nice and clean and make sure he's close enough to have that opportunity when it arises. Finds himself on the outside as B-rated defends the inside line into there, but they're both slowing each other down a little bit here, so potentially GT Dele in front has got the chance to run away a little bit whilst these two are racing away. So this is all playing into Dele's hands at the moment. Well, was a second ago when they were actually defending, but looks like they've seen the error of the ways and just working together to try and catch Dele up front. Diablo going a little bit wide there on the exit through there, but nothing too dramatic to worry about. We see B-rated jumping into the pits. ADG123, which is me, is in the pits as well. So just coming for new fresh tyres, so Maguinho inherits the lead for the time being. GT Dele is not far behind him at all in second place. So good racing again throughout this race from GT Dele, no real big mistakes that I've noticed, and seem to keep the pace going. After that first lap, he must have been full of confidence for this one. As I enjoyed watching that first lap. I don't know about anyone else. Every opportunity that Dele saw on that first lap, it was a perfect example. Every opportunity that he saw to take, that he just went for it straight away. very decisive, and you could almost see it in the actual racing. Just thinking, yep, that's mine, I'm off for that, yep, dive to the inside there, I'll break that guy, and off he went. So, again, full credit for Delhi's start there, it was impressive stuff. You might feel like I've got some kind of favourites in these videos, and I talk about specific people all the time, but I don't really. I just literally pick up on what I see. I know that I'm more friendly with certain people than others. Some of you have spoken to a lot of times, some of you have never spoken to, but other than that, it doesn't really give me any favour towards anyone. It just means I know they're driving a little bit more, so I know when it's a bit more impressive than other times, basically. So it might seem like I'm picking out Delhi to give a particularly shining example of this week through this video, but at the same time he deserves it, because it was a very, very good start. So what I'm trying to say is, if any of you do anything massively impressive, I'll pick up on it, or try to pick up on it. Can't always promise that I will, but and then try and show it, even if you are a complete stranger to me. So, another lap gone by without skipping through and really seeing what's going on. Diablo coming into the pits on lap 8 there. So me and B-Rated pitted one lap earlier than Diablo this time round. So we head on to lap 9 as Diablo sits in the pits. B-Rated has got quite close behind me now, so doing a good job of chasing me down. Not gonna lie, the car I've chosen is incredibly quick, so anyone that can stick with me or chase me down the fast corners, then fair play to them, because that's what that car's advantage is. It's not just my driving, and the car lends itself to the faster corners, not so much the slow ones, but that's what I've got to battle with. Anyway, we've got Diablo in 5th after the pit stop. So brand new super soft tyres there for Diablo, and just less than 3/4 of a tank of fuel. We're 20 minutes into the race now, so halfway through. Again, it makes it difficult to commentate and do a really good job and make it entertaining when the racing's not that close. But I'll try my best for the next 20 minutes, unless there's massive action that starts happening. Then I'm going to have to waffle on a little bit, so do bear with me. 6-penny guitar now in 11th position, looks like he's just cruising round at the back, kind of giving up on the race. Mr. Ginge in 10th now. S2 Law struggled his way through this one a little bit. Bad start from him as well. Don't know quite what happened at the start, but didn't seem to get away very well, and finds himself in 9th position halfway through the race. Moley's picked up a little bit of a penalty of 0.1 of a second in 8th position. Can just about see S2 Law behind him in the distance. So we've got Slow Seamus coming through on a slower car there. I'm not sure who that is, pulled over to one side. GT Delhi's just jumped in the pits from 2nd position. So Diablo now coming through. Let's see if Diablo comes through and actually comes out in front of GT Delhi, as Delhi will be looking to refuel, as we can see the fuel going up there on the left hand side for Delhi. So we'll see where it comes out relative to Diablo. Delhi going from the soft tyre onto the super soft by the look of it as well. So there we see it. GT Delhi V just comes out in 4th position, about a second, 2 seconds in front of Diablo there. So a bit of work from Diablo to do now. Delhi V's got the advantage with a fresher tyre. But Delhi V having to lose a 0.4 of a second penalty there at some point. So we'll jump back to B-Raters. He's still right on the back of me, chasing me down. I had a particularly good race this race. I didn't really make any mistakes. I think the worst mistake I made was going a little bit wide and getting myself on the curb and having to lift out of the throttle for about a second longer than I normally would after. And if that's the worst it gets, then I consider that a pretty good race. So you can hear the rear end scrubbing a little bit as B-rated chucks it into the left-hander there. Quite a good view is this, because you can actually see the amount of steering angle being put into the wheel, and then if there's any understeer or oversteer, you can see the corrections. Oh, like the oversteer there, for example, didn't quite catch it B-rated there, so he's managed to put himself on the gravel all on his own. As we see GT Delhi B just coming through and taking third position off him, and then Diablo behind taking fourth as well, as B-rated struggles to get going again and gets himself going eventually, but finds himself in fifth position after that massive mistake. So Diablo and Delhi B rubbing their hands together with that easy opportunity to claim a position and climb up the positions a little bit higher. So Maguinho now in the pits. Let's see where he comes out. We'll stick with B-rated. He might come out around B-rated or Diablo even. Not sure where he's going to come out. If we look back, that's the pit exit there, so he's coming out into fourth place by the look of it. No, B-rated just passed him in the McLaren, so B-rated goes up into fourth. Good job there from B-rated. Gets a track position on Maguinho now in fifth after the pit stop. Maguinho gone there for a long stop for the first stint, and it might have hindered his race a little bit towards the end. Second stint, sorry, he went for a really long stop. So we've got Diablo challenging for the second position now, going for an outside line on GT Delhi, keeping it nice and tidy as much as possible. When there's a bit of a failed overtake attempt going on, it's hard to get your line back and get it all going again. So Diablo doing a decent job chasing Delhi down. Delhi probably feeling a little bit of pressure at this point. Diablo's pretty close to him. Bit of understeer there from Diablo, as I see him just still going a little bit wide on the mid-corner part of the corner, surprisingly. Again, both Delhi and Diablo missing the apex a little bit through there. By the way, I don't mean any of this as a criticism. It's already happened. It's already gone by last Friday, so I don't mean anything I say as a criticism. I'm just pointing out what I see. If I see a bit of oversteer, I see a bit of oversteer. So GT Delhi just getting it wide on the exit, going through there, lost a lot of pace. Diablo's caught him up, but crucially he's caught him up for Delhi's sake. He's caught him up right into the entry of that flat out corner, so Diablo had to lift off a little bit and give GT Delhi a bit of respect, just because there's only really one line through there. But good racing going on from these guys. You can see Diablo, even though he's challenging to get a faster line through that corner, he's taking the race entry as wide as possible, the corner entry as wide as possible, where Delhi B having to take that inside line a little bit to defend and just make sure that Scott doesn't jump through, or Diablo should I say, doesn't jump through and get past in second. So again, good run from Diablo through Eau Rouge. Fast as his super in a straight line, getting up to 163 as he gets on the brakes, just as we head into there. So up into second with a good run through Eau Rouge, crucially, from Diablo there, doing a really good job on GT Delhi. And GT Delhi's not going to like that, so he's going to be fighting back as soon as he can. Try and keep it nice and calm. Anyway, we'll jump through and see what else is going on. We've got a lot of people in the pits. Mouguinho in 4th now, B-rated in 5th, so that position's changed. Mouguinho came out of the pits behind B-rated not so long back, but he's found himself getting back up into 4th, so good job there from Mouguinho, and B-rated unfortunately dropping down into 5th. So Mr. Gr3 doing a decent job of getting onto the back of B-rated as well in the McLaren. Mr. Gr3 in the Porsche, so chasing him down, and he seems to be getting closer and closer. Slow Seamus quite a distance back from Mr. Gr3, and again Morley quite a distance back from Slow Seamus, so massive gaps between these guys now. Mr. Ginger's just been overtaken as a back marker, so we see 2nd and 3rd going through past Mr. Ginger there, and then Sixpenny Guitar just cruising around at the back, running out of fuel on his own basically. Not sure what's going on there, but never mind. So you see me, A to G, jumping in from the lead into the pits yet again. 40-minute race, required a fair few pit stops. So GT Delhi's now got the opportunity to go up into 1st as I'm sat in the pits getting some more fuel and fresh tyres. Hooking up the Lasource hairpin, going a little bit wide at the apex there, but not too bad. So we see GT Delhi inheriting 1st place there, Diablo in 2nd, and I come out of the pits actually chasing these guys down into Rouge and Radion. I always want to say Radillion because that's how it's spelled, but Radion. And yeah, we'll jump back up because GT Delhi and Diablo are still fighting away for 1st place here, slowing themselves down a little bit by going side by side into the corners, but they're having a good old battle. Good racing from these guys, no contacts that we've seen so far as well, so good, clean, respectful stuff. I know it's not always possible, but that's what we like to see from the MRC leagues, whether it's the GTTCC or any other league that the MRC might be hosting. So just trying to catch a bit of action, but there's not a lot going on, like I keep saying. Moley's now in the pits in 9th position with that incredibly loud noise from the siren. So Mouguinho now in 4th in the GTR behind me in 3rd, and Diablo and Delhi up ahead. So this time round I've chosen the soft tyre instead of super soft. As we see, Diablo now needs to come into the pits pretty much on this lap and get some more fuel if not for the tyres. So GT Delhi B, his tyre wear's not quite as bad, and he's got a lot more fuel than Diablo had, so manages to continue for another lap. You see me closing up on him a little bit, so I can actually see him now as I chase him down the long straight into a Rouge. Diablo coming out of the pits, let's see where he comes out. Comes out in 4th, and there's no one to be seen behind him, so pretty safe position, no one behind him to challenge him. B-rated quite a long way back in 5th, still doing a good job of holding 5th position, but he's dropped off a long way back from the guys in front. Just skip through quickly, do bear with me whilst we have a quick look at everyone. So we'll keep with this battle towards the front, since it seems to be the bulk of the action between Diablo, Mouguinho, ADG123 and GT Delhi. So GT Delhi, let's see what kind of lap time he can do this time round if he doesn't come into the pits. He's actually got enough fuel by the look of it to do one more lap after this one. So it'll be interesting to see if he jumps in the pits because of the tyre wear, or he decides to run the fuel as long as possible and goes for one more lap. See, these are the little things that I keep an eye on whilst I actually do these replays. Gives me a little bit of information about everyone that races, probably a little bit more than everyone else, because I have to keep an eye on it all for doing these replays basically. So you see me in the distance behind Delhi there, just trying to catch up the best I can, making the most of my fresher tyres compared to Delhi's worn tyres. Probably part of the decision that Delhi will have to make into this corner, whether he goes into the pits or not. So we see him pulling right over to that side, so he's gone into the pits. Decided that I was catching him too quickly, probably could have gone that extra lap like I've already said on the fuel, but decided that the tyres had gone too much and jumped in the pits. So Maguinho in the pits this lap as well, interestingly. So we've got a pit battle between Maguinho and GT Delhi B. Diablo goes through into second. GT Delhi B is going to come out in front of Maguinho as soon as I pitted in front of him. We see Diablo just coming through the first corner there, Lassource hairpin, and coming through in third position actually behind Maguinho. So Maguinho did actually get out in front. Don't know how I've managed to miss that somehow, but Maguinho jumped GT Delhi in the pits there. So Maguinho looking to send this to the end of the race now with this tyres and fuel that he's just put on. Diablo going for the outside line down the straight though with just a nice toe through Eau Rouge. Got the overspeed on Maguinho and just managed to get the braking done nicely into the right hand chicane. So good job there from Diablo, and that's probably a bit of a crucial move between Diablo and GT Delhi's race there. They were quite close through the last section of the race. It's quite a big jump Diablo's made in front of GT Delhi there. Don't know if GT Delhi's put that little bit too much fuel in on the pit stop or what's happened there, but certainly lost a little bit of time to the guys in front. But good job there for Diablo to release himself in second place. Maguinho now has to fight for the remainder of the podium spots, whilst GT Delhi just has the hunt in front of him. He's got two cars in front of him that he can just look to chase down basically, which is always a good position to be in, coming towards the end of lap 15. So again, apologies for not really featuring everyone that much in this race. We'll skip through and keep an eye where everyone is, but not much close action going on. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to make an entertaining replay, so I hope you understand. Can't get my words out. I say that at least once a replay, can't get my words out. So yeah, I hope you understand. So Maguinho, I don't know what's gone on there, I've missed it, but Maguinho has actually just got past Diablo. Looks like Diablo probably got it wrong on the brakes, or something's gone wrong for Diablo into that last chicane. So Diablo dropping back into third now, Maguinho back up into second with a bit of a gap to Diablo behind him as well. So now we have, towards the end of the race, not long left now, we have GT Delhi right on the back of Diablo, incredibly close. Heading through Eau Rouge, Sixpenny Guitar still continuing with the race. We see him on the right hand side just slowed down there to let the guys through. Pretty much using the curve as a braking marker on the left hand side into that corner, and then just trying to keep it nice and steady as Diablo gets a little bit unsettled through there. Finding nowhere to go though when he actually had the pace to maybe make a move there. GT Delhi. Diablo had the line blocked. So Diablo again going a little bit wide with understeer. Just managing to hold the inside line on Delhi. So just about managing to keep that third position, even though he went out wide on the corner before. So it's getting a little bit scrappy from these guys, fighting away and pushing for the end of the race. But it's good to see at the same time. fighting for that third position. They're not just cruising around happy with where they are. So Delhi putting in a good bit of work on this lap to try and put the pressure on Diablo, and it's working, it seems. It's a bit weird commentating about GT Delhi and Diablo, because pretty pally with them and chat to them a little bit, so it's a bit weird when I commentate on what I would consider a friend rather than just a fellow competitor. But there you go, that's just part of the commentating battle. So Delhi doing a good job of sticking with him, but not really getting the speed anywhere to catch him through that lap. But he's done a really good job of sticking with him, and he's stuck in the slipstream as they're down the straight. So on to what will be the last lap now. It's not quite come up as the last lap yet, but it will do in a second. Oh, just a bit of contact there as Delhi goes into the side of Diablo to take alternative lines through the source hairpin. Diablo doesn't really lose out from that contact, so continues to hold a little bit of a gap to Delhi. Delhi cutting the top of her rouge a little bit there, picking up a penalty because of it, but he's got the slipstream and crucially the pace to have a go. Chooses to actually back out and lose the penalty instead, which is probably a wise move there from Delhi. It was the one opportunity that he could definitely have dived down the inside, but at the same time getting rid of that penalty is important. So he had to make that decision quickly, and I think Delhi made the right decision there. And look, 2 corners later, he's still got an opportunity to get past Diablo anyway. So we see him just crawl through on the inside with a nice smooth line through that corner. Diablo getting a little bit wrong, finding himself on the outside and opening up the line for GT Delhi to come through. So Delhi doing a good clean job of getting the overtake done there. Finds himself up into third on the last lap. Again, apologies, I've not really covered everyone in this one, but there wasn't that much entertainment going on, to be honest, so I've kept it with the battle that's been going on between these guys, really. So Maguinho now done a really good job in this last section of the race and just pulled away from these guys battling, and finds himself in a secure second place. It's now come up that it's the last lap. And we've got Diablo chasing away in fourth, so just to give myself a little bit of credit, come over the line in first place for a nice win for myself for the championship. Maguinho comes over the line in second place. Nice job from Maguinho, doing a good job throughout the race with a few little battles going on with the pit stops. GT Delhi doing a good job on that last lap to get past Diablo, and Diablo coming home in fourth. B-Rated just had a nice consistent race, seems to have been in fifth pretty much the whole time, but managed to keep it going. Probably been a little bit of a boring one for him, should I say, but in regards as he's been driving around on his own most of the time, but doing a good job with a decent result in fifth. Mr. Dre behind him as well, quite a big gap. So we'll just watch B-Rated come through the last corner, nice and steady away through the last chicane, no risky moves on the last lap, finishes in fifth, good job. Mr. Dre 70 seemed to have a bit of a mixed start, if I remember rightly. It's a long time, it feels like a long time ago after doing a full race commentary, but it seems to be a long time ago that we saw him have a bad start. If he did do, can't remember if he did, so apologies if not. Mr. Dre in sixth there with a nice finish in the end in the Porsche. Slow Seamus proving to be correct to his name there by coming home very slowly, not even flat out through that corner for some reason, just taking it nice and steady on the last lap, drifting his way through the second to last corner, and then nice and steady through the very last corner into 7th place finish. Moley now, as we watch him come over the line, brings it home in 8th. and then we've got S2 low coming through the last couple of corners now. Really bad tyre wear for S2 low there, so he's done a good job just to keep that last lap going, to be fair. With that kind of tyre wear, brings it home in 9th. And then we've got Mr. Ginge, don't look like he's going to finish in 10th, and then Sixpenny Guitar, which has already taken the checker flag, in 11th. So without much further ado, I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and stick with me for the rest of the season, if not my other videos as well. And yeah, if you've enjoyed this, give us a like, it always helps. Thank you very much. I'll see you again for next week's replay videos, and good luck to everyone that ends up watching this for tonight's races, if you end up watching this on Friday before the race. So take care, see you again soon, and adios.